Institute of the Philippines is now to helm a progressive approach to education used in the European Union.
As the Technological Institute of the Philippines celebrates its 50th anniversary, it brings together the world's foremost exponents of outcomes-based education as its contribution to the advancement of education in the Philippines. Thank you so much for joining us today. Dr. Vahos, can you tell me about this conference which coincides with the 50th anniversary of CIP?
The International Conference on Outcomes-Based Teaching and Learning is the highlight of CIP. And it's supposed to be a very important event because it gets together presidents, deans, and chairs of schools from all over the country. We feel that being able to bring the conference participants together and the gurus of OBTL here in the Philippines would mean that there should be some dent in the education somehow, that there should be an improvement through OBTL, and collaboration begins with little steps. What exactly is this education?
Normally, we make our teaching topic-based. We teach the topics that we think the students should learn. But with outcomes-based, we take it a step further and ask what we want the students to do with those topics. How do they use their knowledge? And so we put ourselves in the student's shoes and teach in a way that will help them achieve those outcomes that we intend for them to learn. So it's making it much more student-based, and following from that, it influences the way we teach. We don't just lecture and talk. We teach in a way that encourages the students to learn through their own activities, because that's how people do learn. It's not what we do, it's what they do. It's an important thing.
Right, exactly. Professor King, is OBTL an international standard of practice?
It certainly is, particularly in professional areas such as engineering and to some extent in areas like accounting and other professional areas in the health sciences. In engineering, most professional accrediting bodies worldwide have adopted a learning outcome specification, which is relatively easy, and then the challenge is to deliver students who meet the aspirations of that specification. And I'm very pleased to be here in the Philippines because it endorses the Philippines' aim to become part of that international engineering accreditation community. One very key issue around accredited programs in professional areas is it greatly increases graduate mobility. In fact, that is the main, and I say the main purpose of formally accrediting programs or having an international system for the recognition of accredited programs to increase graduate mobility across the world. With engineering, like many professions, but perhaps engineering especially, is undertaken in a global manner.
So graduates from CIP can work anywhere in the world with this accreditation?
Or their degrees will be recognised. Yeah, that's too much further bureaucracy. I think that's the point.
Now, Dr. Biggs, what are the advantages of OBTL?
One of the major things we came across when implemented in Hong Kong was that students were clear about what they were intended to learn, and oddly enough, that's a bit of a breakthrough. And it's got an important consequence that if a student knows where they've got to go, then they can reflect on how well they're getting there, so that one of the important graduate attributes or goals of an institution is that students become lifelong learners and independent learners. So making sure that they know where they're going and how well they're on the way there makes them much more reflective. And from that point of view, I think it's very important.
What can be expected from this conference?
International Conference on Outcomes-Based Teaching and Learning. There will be a sharing of best practices. We have invited speakers from around the globe, and they are led, of course, by the guru, Professor John Biggs himself, who has a book on the topic, and Professor Robin King. And incidentally, the CHED itself, the highest governing body for education in the Philippines, has this thrust of outcomes-based education. Some CHED memoranda in the past about engineering specified outcomes-based education and intended learning outcomes for students in engineering?
I would like to expect that LDTO will be adopted in a much wider front to the Philippines. I'm very encouraged from what I've heard. I hadn't realised that it had taken so far, in fact, here. But I think, well, I hope the conference will take it further in all sectors.
And what about you, Professor King?
What I aim to share with the participants is my assertion that engineering naturally seeks to adopt an outcome view focus to both its profession and to its education. But because engineering professors are not normally trained in education, but are learning an outcomes-based approach to learning and teaching is actually a very effective way of them engaging in the sense with their familiar mindset to the challenges in the classroom and thereby improve the student outcomes very rapidly.
So how important is this conference then to education in this country? It's quite relevant because it's along the thrust of the TED and it's along the thrust of what's happening in the world. International accreditation is something that schools, even Philippine schools, are looking forward to because they would like to take advantage of the mutual recognition of signatory countries in such accords as Washington Accord so that their graduates may be also recognized by the signatory countries for as long as those programs are accredited. And so we are looking forward to being able to contribute somehow to the thrust of the TED and of the country and be able to help the Philippines get there too with this conference. What is the legacy that you would like to leave behind? I would like to be able to leave behind a thriving, sustainable school, something that will be able to live up to my father's dream of being able to give education to many, something that our students will be very proud of. I hope to see student outcomes in terms of more students serving in government, non-government organizations, and even in industry, and fulfilling the dreams of their parents and also the demands of industry through, again, outcomes-based education and outcomes-based teaching and learning. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Lajos, Professor Briggs, and Professor Singh. Thank you so much.